Hi everyone, Kendall here with Annie's, and I'm here to bring you another crochet tutorial. Today we're going to be making this adorable Lovey Bear toy. This was designed by Crocheted by Cora and uses up all the scrap yarn you have lying around from all your other projects. So go ahead and grab your yarn and let's jump right in. For your materials, you're going to need worsted weight yarn, which is all my scrap yarn over here, a 4mm crochet hook, some stitch markers, polyfill stuffing for the head, a tapestry needle, and then scissors. I'm going to start with the blanket part, which is a square on the bear Lovey. I'm going to start by making a slip knot with any scrap yarn color you choose, and then chaining 41. I have my 41 chains, so now I'm going to do 3 half double crochets in the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, my third chain from the hook. I'm going to make 3 half double crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. This beginning 3 skips right here is going to count as the beginning chain 3 space, just so we know. Then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then do 3 half double crochets into that stitch. You're going to repeat this sequence all the way down so that you end on the 3 half double crochets. This is like a granny square texture, but it's made a little differently, where you're going to have your half double crochet clusters kind of act as your granny squares. So after putting 3 half double crochets in the same chain, you're going to chain 3, skip 3 chains again, and then do 3 half double crochets in the same spot. You should have 10 clusters of 3 half double crochets total, so you have 30 half double crochets at the end. Now we're going to chain 3 and turn. For the next row, until we reach row 30, the pattern says we're going to chain 3 half double crochets in each chain 3 spot below, and then turn. So we did our chain 3. So here, we're going to put 3 half double crochets. This was our first chain gap that we have. Then we're going to chain 3 again and go into the spot, the chain space below. And we're going to repeat this all the way down. This is how we're going to keep on growing our piece and making our square blanket at the bottom. You're going to repeat row 2 until you have a total of 30 rows. Then you're going to cut your yarn and fasten off. This is our big square piece at the bottom. So once you're finished with that, we're going to work on the head. To start the head, we're going to start with a slip ring or a magic ring. There's a few different ways to do it. This is a method I prefer because it's a little easier to show you on video because I want to do it on my hands. I have my tail over here. I'm going to wrap it around my hand and form an X, and then pinch in the middle. I'm going to take my crochet hook, go under, over, and you're going to grab this and twist and pull up. And then I like to pinch and kind of tighten it so I have control of it. Then you're going to do your chain 1, which kind of locks this into place so it doesn't slide around. And then place your 6 single crochets through it. You're going to go under here, and then your single crochets are going on here. So here's 1 single crochet. And my second, I'm going under both of the strings and forming my single crochets. So here's 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then you can pinch here and you're going to pull your tail so that we have a circle. Again, there's 100 different ways to make a magic ring or a slip ring. I find this the easiest to show on video, so that's what I chose for us today. Now that we have our tail and our circle started, I'm going to place my stitch marker, and the pattern notes say that you can place it into the very first stitch. So this is the first one that we made. So I want to put my stitch marker in. Okay, I'm going to grab my yarn and let's keep on going. Round 2 says an increase in each stitch. An increase is super easy because it's just 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So I'm going to take this out for a moment so we can see a little better. So this is our next stitch. The first one's always a little tight, so don't worry. You're going to make 2 single crochets. So that was 1, and then in the same spot we're going to make a second one. Then I'm going to place my stitch marker back, and then we're going to repeat that. So our original 6 single crochets turn into 12. So again, do 1 single crochet and then a second in the same stitch, and repeat that till you get to the end. So you have 12 stitches. So I have my 12 single crochets. If your hole got a little bigger in the middle, you can pull your tail to tighten it. For round 3, also note here, before we get into round 3, this piece is worked in a spiral, so we're not going to join in between rounds and chain 1. We're just going to keep on going around and around until we're happy with it. Round 3 says a single crochet in the next stitch and then an increase. So that turns our 12 into 18. So in the next stitch, you're going to do 1 single crochet. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in. And then in the next stitch, you're going to do our increase, which we know is just 2 single crochets. So there's our 1, and here are our 2. And you're going to repeat that 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around until you have 18 single crochets. For rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7, you're going to be increasing at different intervals. So I'm going to leave you to make it bigger now that we know how to do our increases. And I'm going to see you for round 8, where we're going to make our head, give it some depth, because our first part with all our increases is making it wide, and then we're going to work on making it long. We just finished the top of the head, so now to make it longer, we're going to single crochet in each stitch. You're going to do this for rounds 8 through 14. You're just going to place 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. We're going to meet up for round 15 because that's when we're going to do the decreases, and we'll do that together so that we can start to close our head and we can put stuffing somewhere. I started changing colors after we went down, and I just finished round 14, which finished our 7 rounds of single crochet. Round 15 says single crochet into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then a single crochet decrease. To do that, you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, just like you would start a normal single crochet. But instead of finishing it, we're going to insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. So you have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 3. This is a way of basically combining 2 stitches together. So to complete this round, you're going to single crochet 5 and then decrease all the way around. For rounds 16 and 17, you're going to be doing more decreases. And then for round 18, I'll show you how to do the back loops only. And then we can stuff it and fiberfill it and then add our embroidered eyes, which is my favorite part. Round 18 says we're going to work in the back loop only. So our stitch has 2 lines, the front and the back. Normally, we go through both. For here, we're just going to go in the back. So it says single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then decrease. Okay, so we're going to go in the back, and you're going to single crochet just like normal. So there's 1 going in the back, 2, and then a decrease just in the back loop. This is going to help us when we assemble. We're going to use that front loop to sew it onto the blanket part. So go ahead and continue that all the way around so that you have your front loop, but we're working into the back loop. After you finish your decreases, I still need to add a few more rounds and stuff it. You're going to make the ears and then sew them on. You already know how to do the ears because you know how to make a slip ring and do our increases. They're easy peasy. Now at the end you get to embroider the face. So I have a long piece of black yarn on a tapestry needle. And because this is open right now, I get to start from the bottom. You might want to do your sewing before you stuff it. If you do it after, you're just going to poke through anywhere that's not where you're going. And then you'll hide this at the end. But since mine's open, I can do it here. I'm going to start with my nose because that's kind of going to center our piece. So I'm poking through. Leave a few inches so it doesn't slide out on you. And we're going to do a straight stitch. And to do that, we're going to go over a few stitches and poke through. You don't need to have fancy embroidery skills for crochet embroidery for most stuffed animals. You're just going to do a few straight stitches so the nose is as thick as you want it. I like to hold mine and pull it down a little bit. If your stuffing's coming through, you can kind of pick it off. I'm going to do that a few more times. Making sure it's rounder. Oh, looks kind of weird with just a nose. So then I'm going to poke through where I just came out and make an eye. I'm going to start in one side of the eye. Oh, excuse me. And I'm going to go over a few stitches and then go up. And then you get to scoop it up, because now that I'm up here, I'm going to scoop down so we have a V. And then you can poke out where you want your second eye. There we go. Now he looks like he's sleeping. I'm going to repeat the same thing over here. I'm scooping it up and poking through. And then I'll go to the smile next. I used to be really intimidated by the embroidery details on stuffed animals because it felt like it wasn't crochet. It felt like that was a whole different ballgame. But now I know it's really just as easy. And with yarn, instead of something like thread or embroidery floss, it's super simple because it's nice and thick, it's easy to pull out, and it adds some really cute features to your pieces to make them more unique. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. You're still working on assembling all your pieces, and you can sew them all together so that you have your bear. Mine came out a little bigger, and that's okay. I didn't check the gauge. Fun thing about toys is that gauges are not really necessary. It's just going to be a little bigger. But you have all the details and the 2 ears sewn all together to make your own bear Lovey toy. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made our Lovey Bear toy. I hope you used up some of your scrap yarn you have lying around and were able to make this quick little project. Don't forget, you can share pictures on social media and tag us at Annie's Craft Store. Can't wait to see all your projects, and I'll see you in the next video.